I never thought I'd be the guy writing one of these posts. I used to scroll through Reddit at night, half asleep, reading stories about betrayal and thinking, that could never be me. My marriage is different. We're solid. We're boring in the best way. Turns out, boring was exactly where everything went wrong. This is long. I don't know how to shorten it. If you're looking for drama or revenge, this isn't that kind of story. This is about what it feels like when the person you trusted more than anyone quietly walks away while still sleeping next to you every night. My wife, Lena, and I have been together for 11 years. Married for 7. We met in college. She was the loud one in class, the kind of person who could talk to anyone. I was the quiet guy who sat in the back and took notes. Somehow, she picked me. Our relationship was never explosive. It was comfortable. Stable. Predictable. We didn't fight much. We paid our bills. We made dinner together. We watched shows on the couch. We talked about having kids someday. I thought that meant we were winning. What I didn't realize was that Lena had been slowly starving emotionally, and I was too busy trying to be a good provider to notice. About 2 years ago, things changed in small ways. She started staying late at work. She guarded her phone more. She stopped telling me little details about her day. At first, I told myself I was being paranoid. We were in our 30s. Life gets busy. Passion fades a little. That's normal, right? But the intimacy changed too. Not just sex, everything. She stopped reaching for my hand when we walked. Stopped asking how my day was. Stopped laughing at things she used to love about me. When I asked if something was wrong, she'd say, "I'm just tired. Work is stressful. You're overthinking." And I believed her. Because trusting her was easier than admitting something might be broken. 6 months ago, I woke up around 2 a.m. and realized Lena wasn't in bed. I heard soft talking from the living room. Not loud. Not arguing. Just intimate. I didn't mean to listen. I really didn't. But my body froze before my brain caught up. She was on the phone. And she wasn't talking the way you talk to a coworker. Her voice was gentle. Warm. Almost tender. "I miss you too. I know, I just wish things were simpler." No, he doesn't know. My heart started pounding so hard I thought she'd hear it from the other room. I walked back into the bedroom and pretended to be asleep. I didn't confront her. I didn't say a word. That was the first night I realized my marriage might already be over. For the next few weeks, I lived in quiet hell. I started noticing patterns. She angled her phone away from me. She smiled at texts, then hid the screen. She suddenly cared more about how she looked going to work. I hated myself for what I did next, but I needed to know. One night, while she was in the shower, I checked her iPad. It was synced to her messages. There was a name I didn't recognize. Marcus. What I found wasn't graphic. No explicit photos. No dirty messages. But what was there hurt even more. Talking to you feels like breathing again. I feel more like myself when I'm with you. I wish I had met you before everything got complicated. And then the line that shattered me. I love my husband but I'm not in love with him anymore. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at those words until my vision blurred. She didn't hate me. She didn't want to destroy me. She had simply replaced me emotionally. Everyone Eve told this to later asked the same question. Why didn't you say anything? Because I was terrified. Terrified that if I confronted her, she'd confirm what I already felt. That she was already gone. I kept telling myself. Maybe it hasn't turned physical yet. Maybe it's just a phase. Maybe I can fix this. So instead of confronting her, I tried to become better. I started leaving notes for her. I planned date nights. I asked about her feelings more. I tried to be emotionally present in ways I hadn't been before. And she noticed. She even said once, "You've been different lately. Softer." I wanted to scream, "I'm fighting for us." But she was already building something with someone else. 3 months later, she told me she had a work conference out of town. Something in my gut felt wrong. I didn't follow her. I didn't track her phone. I didn't do anything dramatic. But when she came home 2 days later, I knew. She looked lighter. Happier. Like someone who had just come back from falling in love. That night, when she kissed me goodnight, I felt like I was kissing a stranger. A week later, I checked the iPad again. There it was. "I still feel you on my skin. I hate that I had to leave. I don't know how to go back to pretending." I closed the screen and sat in the dark. My wife wasn't just cheating. She was living a second life. For the next 3 months, I became a ghost in my own marriage. I cooked. I cleaned. I listened when she talked. But inside, I was numb. Every laugh felt fake. Every "I love you" felt like a lie she was telling both of us. The worst part wasn't the betrayal. It was how invisible I realized I had become. She wasn't cruel. She wasn't cold. She was just elsewhere. And I stayed. Not because I had no self-respect. But because I wanted to understand something first. How does someone fall out of love without ever saying a word? About a month ago, something changed. Lena became quieter. Restless. Short-tempered. She started picking fights over small things. She seemed disappointed when she came home. One night, I overheard her on the phone again. This time, the tone was different. "I told you I can't just leave everything. You knew I was married. I'm not asking you to fix it, just don't pressure me." That was the first time I realized something important. Her secret world wasn't perfect anymore. Marcus wasn't just a fantasy. He was becoming real. And reality always demands choices. 2 weeks later, she broke down in the kitchen. Out of nowhere. She was chopping vegetables and suddenly started crying. Not quiet tears. Full body sobbing. I didn't say "What's wrong?" I just held her. After a long time, she whispered, "I think Eve ruined everything." That was the moment I knew. She didn't know that I knew. But she knew she had crossed a line she couldn't uncross. She didn't confess. She didn't explain. But something inside her had shifted from excitement to guilt. 3 nights later, I finally told her. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just said, "I know about Marcus." Her face went completely white. For a long moment, she couldn't even speak. Then she collapsed onto the couch and said, "How long have you known?" When I told her, she started crying harder than I had ever seen. Not defensive. Not angry. Just devastated. She said, "I never meant for it to go this far. I felt invisible in my own life. I didn't want to hurt you." I looked at her and said something I had been holding in for months. "You didn't want to hurt me, but you still chose something that would." Here is the part that still haunts me. She admitted that Marcus had started pushing her to leave me. Not aggressively. Not cruelly. Just with reality. "If you really love me, what are we doing? I can't keep being a secret. I need more than stolen moments." She told me. I thought he was my escape. But when it became real, I realized I didn't want to burn my whole life down for him. The affair wasn't exciting anymore. It was complicated. And that's when the regret started. Not because she suddenly loved me more. but because she finally saw the cost of what she had done. We didn't divorce. Not yet. We're in therapy. We're living in the same house. We're trying to rebuild something from ashes. But I won't lie to you. Some days, I look at her and feel love. Other days, I look at her and feel like I'm standing next to the person who broke me. She regrets it. I see it in how she watches me now. In how afraid she is of losing me. In how she tries, too late, to be emotionally present. But regret doesn't erase the months I spent lying awake beside her while she gave her heart.